Out here in corner country, that great expanse of the Australian outback where three states meet, the possibilities seem endless. Next stop, perhaps Inaminka in northeast South Australia, or maybe Thargomindah in southwest Queensland, or then again Tibooburra in the far west of New South Wales. Whichever way you go out here on a tri-state safaris tour, chances are you're following a route travelled by this country's original inhabitants, or perhaps a trail forged by one of the first European explorers, like Captain Charles Sturt. When he was out here looking for his inland sea, the country was gripped by a ferocious drought, so very different to the way we found it after good spring rains. And with the good rains had come cattle for agistment from all over the place, and clumps of the vivid red flower, Sturt's desert pea, named after the man who led his party into the heart of Australia on a tragic quest. And so it's through this sort of country that Sturt was continuing on in towards South Australia?
Yes, yes, he was just a little late getting to Lake Eyre, I guess. If he'd have struck it when it was full, he'd have thought he'd struck the inland sea.
In the Sturt Pioneer Park at Tibooburra stands a tribute to one of the most bizarre stories of Australian exploration. Captain Charles Sturt, the man who played a pivotal role in the establishment of the colony of South Australia with his whaleboat journey down the Murray in 1830, would later turn his attention to the country's interior. The flight pattern of birds heading north from Adelaide convinced Sturt of the existence of an inland sea, and so in 1844 he and a party of men set out to find it.
It's the boat upside down indicates the futility of the trip.
From near Tibooburra, Sturt and his men would strike out into the deserts of South Australia. One would nearly kill him and later bear his name, Sturt's Stony Desert. In the museum back in town, the Aboriginal trade routes point to a time when there were no state borders here. Back then, this was the land of Aboriginal nations, like the Adnyamathanha, the Dieri and the Wankumara.
The Aboriginals of this area had an abundance of siltstone that they could trade with the Adnyamathanha from the Flinders Ranges for ochre. That's a stone that they would start with, and they would gradually chip off pieces and they'd become their tools.
At the town lookout, signs of their presence can still be found today at what was an important meeting place. According to the Dreamtime story, all the tribes came here, and two men came from Inaminka in what is now modern-day South Australia, and they asked the locals for some rainstones, but they were refused and they were mocked, and in revenge they sent down a terrible hailstorm, and everyone, including themselves, was turned to stone. Hence the name Tibooburra, place of stones. It's a strange and alien landscape, a mecca for geologists.
The boulders here are suspected of being an extinct volcano that didn't break through to the surface, and the subsequent years of erosion have exposed what was the core of the volcano.
So this is all granite around here?
It's all granite, and you can see that it only extends in a small radius. You get a short time away from here and there's no more boulders.
In the 1880s they found gold here, resulting in a mini rush. Today it's a quiet, sleepy, travelling through sort of place, but one which has held a fascination for many artists, like Clifton Pugh, whose bawdy piece with bacchanalian romp full of satyrs and naked women seems a little incongruous in an establishment called the Family Hotel. What's it meant to represent?
Oh, not really, man.
No,
Not
you
really.
can't tell me.
Probably his own life, I suppose.
a reasonably complicated one by the look of it. In another bar, a sketch, courtesy of Russell Drysdale no less, of an old-timer who'd certainly looked the part in an outback pub like this. While on another wall stands a mural by Eric Minchin, a mate of Pro Hart and Jack Absalom, all founding members of a famous group known as the Brushmen of the Bush. It's just another fascinating part of a very famous pub in a classic outback town. Peter Petrovich has rooms available at the Family Lodge Motel across the road. To book, contact 8091 3314. Tri-State Safaris run regular trips into Corner Country. To book, contact 8088 2389 or log on to their website tristate.com.au.